Hi YouTube, Luminousz Ztarr here. Welcome to my channel, the Luminousz Ztarr. If this is your first time visiting, welcome. And for current subscribers, mwah, you know I like to give kisses here. So thank you for your subscription. Guys, today's video is going to be my answering a question from a current subscriber. And it is pertaining to co-parenting with narcissists. Okay, this is a big one because I'm gonna say it's very relevant right now, because there's a lot of people that seem to have this issue. They have children with narcissists, and I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, you know, because nature happens, right? Right. So they have children with narcissists, and as the years go on or some time go on, sometimes there's an issue with you know, with co-parenting with narcissists. Because my first point, I'm going to be giving 3 points in my answer, and I'm going to give probably one example, right? And I want to say, as my first point, a part of my first point is narcissists see their children as a means of supply. So if that's the case, or since that's the case, and I'm not saying in every instance it is. However, when we're speaking of a narcissist, even if that narcissist is a parent, I really don't think that the narcissist is going to put their need for a supply away just because they have children. So I want to go ahead and get on with the answering the question. And again, the subscriber, in healing, and I absolutely love just the way that sounds, you know, in healing, has inquired about, you know, want to know about co-parenting with a narcissist. So I'm going to go ahead and again give 3 points and at least one example along with that. And at the end of the video, guys, please leave me comments and or questions if you need clarification pertaining to anything that I cover here in this video. Please, I welcome that. Send me comments and questions. And I want to go ahead and, as a side note, the comments and questions I've been receiving, guys, I absolutely love it. Please keep it coming. This is fantastic to at least get some feedback, you know, from the videos. It lets me know that I'm putting something out there that's very relevant to people and that they resonate with. And that makes me feel great. Okay, so keep the comments and questions coming. Okay. All right, here we go. My first point, again, this is about co-parenting with a narcissist. First point is, narcissists, they usually see their children, not all the time, but I think it's a safe bet to say that most of the time, narcissists who are parents or a narcissistic parent, they usually see their children or the child that they have as a means to supply. So narcissists, they usually don't stop with the children. That extends right to the person that they have children with, whether it's a fiance or a spouse or just someone, you know, that they are kicking it with. Okay, whatever the case is, the bottom line is narcissists, they have children with someone else, and the narcissists usually extend their need for supply right to that person that they're having children with. Okay, so that's the first point, to remember that. Please be mindful of that. And since that is the case most of the time, this leads me right to the second point that I would like to make. And that is that strategize and planning, very important. If you're going to co-parent with the narcissist, and I don't know what the situation is, but sometimes situations, you know, in the circumstances are that the person who is contemplating or making the decision or pondering over co-parenting with a narcissist, yeah, that's something that they're usually not taking lightly, you know, and that's understandable, because to plan and to strategize, that's my second point, very important. Matter of fact, it is not only important, it is crucial, because you best believe the narcissist is going to have his or her ducks lined up in a row, legally, more so than morally, more so, you know, legally, because they're looking for you to react to anything that they do. The narcissist is going to try to get you to react via the children, right? Sometimes I've heard cases of children siding with the narcissist to to actually target the other parent. Craziness, I know, but it's very common that this happens. The narcissist is, again, looking for supply constantly, 24/7, non-stop. So they don't stop with their children. They're also looking for supply from the person that they had children with. So a lot of craziness can happen at this point when you are deciding that you're going to co-parent with the narcissist. It's going to be quite a ride, and not to scare anyone, not to say, well, don't do it, because I don't know your situation. However, I can say that, as we know about narcissists, they're not going to cut down the drama. They're not going to turn the dial down on the drama. Okay, so basically, step number 2 and point number 2 I'd like to make: please have your ducks lined up in a row. Strategize and plan the planning. Not just, plan like you never before in your life, because this is not only for you, but this is for your children. Again, plan and strategize very carefully when it comes to the legalities of it. Get to the resources, search for resources and people that you would normally trust to confide in. If the narcissist is also connected to them, I say it's not a good idea to confide in those people anymore. You're going to have to kind of, not cut them off, like saying you're not going to have anything to do with them. But this situation, co-parenting with the narcissist, is going to bring up a lot of stuff. The narcissist is going to continue to try to get supply from you via the children. That means a lot of drama is going to be turned up now. And you have to strategize and plan very carefully on the moral side of it, right? The moral side of your planning and strategizing. Very important. If you go to church and you usually confide in a clergyman or someone at church, if the narcissist is connected, you got to cut that out. Don't even do it. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. From my personal experience, anyone who is connected to the narcissist and connected to you, that is supply for the narcissist, because triangulation and flying monkeys is going to happen. It's going to happen. So on the moral side, as far as like planning and strategizing, just kind of change your tune a little bit, shift the gears a little bit. Example, you may want to go somewhere outside of your county. I don't know where you live. I don't know what state you're in or what county you live in. But the bottom line is you kind of want to switch up a little bit. You want to be predictable, but you don't want to switch up, whereas the narcissist will notice. You have to be subtle in your planning and your strategy and how you carry that out. Be subtle, but shift the gears a little bit too. It's a balancing act. Very delicate. Very delicate situation, but you're watching out for your children. This is really for your children, and safety is key as well. You want to do a lot of safety. You want to plan and strategize, and when you execute the planning, when you execute the strategy and the plan, yes, you're gonna have to be subtle about it as far as like the moral side go. The legality side or the legal side, you want to be cutthroat. And I hate to put it that way, but it's true, because the narcissist is going to have their ducks lined up in a row. They will use any and everything against you as the other parent. Anything and everything. And this is the legal side of it. The narcissist is going to have plenty of support on his or her side. So if you slip up, yes, the narcissist will have people lined up ready to help him or her legally to use that against you. You have to think. I'm pretty certain you've already been thinking about that, to the subscriber who asked me this. But as far as like strategy and planning, that is very important. So when you strategize and when you plan and when you execute that, on the moral side, be subtle. On the legal side, be cutthroat. You have to. You have to. It's like you're fighting for your life and your children's lives, because the narcissist at this time, since the drama is going to be turned up, they're going to be looking for a reaction. And every reaction, they're going to note it. The narcissist is going to note it, and it will be used against you. Because I have actually heard cases of narcissists, well, they don't waste time to try to get custody of the children from the other parent. I've heard this so many times. Now, My experience with this, one of my experiences with this, matter of fact, let me just go ahead and finish up with the points first and examples. Then I'll get to what my experience is on this. Okay, now that's point number 2. And again, the example number 2, strategize and plan like never before, like crazy. Plan and strategize. Have your ducks lined up in a row. You have to. You have to have an airtight case. Yeah, and on the moral side, if you go to a church and you normally confide in somebody there, might not want to do that, because the narcissist is going to use that. They're going to use that. That's where the flying monkeys come in. They're going to use whoever they can against you. It's sick, it's twisted, but they're going to do that. The narcissist will stop at nothing to make sure you look like the bad parent. So co-parenting is a tightrope. It's yeah, it's pretty delicate stuff. It's pretty delicate situation. So having a strategy, or actually a few strategies, and you know, plan the planning, absolutely, and strategize the strategizing. You have to. Yes, you have to. So as far as like the moral side, you want to shift gears a little bit and don't be so predictable on the legal side. On the legal side, you don't want to be very predictable. On the moral side, you want to be pretty predictable, because any switch up in your daily routines, even the way you behave, the narcissist, their antenna is turned up now. They're going to be looking for ways to have you react, to use it against you, and they're also going to be watching for signs that you are shifting gears. Narcissists, by nature, they are predators. So that means they have a little bit, they have a sixth sense, okay, when it comes to their prey or targets. Very scary, but it's quite eerie and fascinating how narcissists are very good at this. So on the legal side, don't be very predictable and be cutthroat. Yes. And on the moral side of it, be kind of predictable and be subtle. Very important. Be subtle and be kind of predictable, because any switch up, the narcissist is going to notice. So don't be too quick to get in arguments. That's the example to number 2. Don't be very quick to get into arguments. Don't react so much. It's very hard. Yes, it's very hard. I know. It's very tough. But the narcissist right now, they're going to turn things up. So anything that you do, they're going to use it against you. So you have to really be careful about that. On the legal side, you have to be cutthroat, because the narcissist will be. Yes, the narcissist will be cutthroat. That person will behave as if you never met. They don't care about the intimate nights that you had, all the sexual, experiences, all the love. They don't care. Narcissists don't care about that. Okay, so be ready for drama to be turned up now. If you're going to co-parent it with a narcissist, yes, expect the drama to be turned up now. And yes, morally, be more predictable as possible. Be as subtle as possible. Legal wise, no, you need to be cutthroat, almost like the narcissist hasn't met you before and they don't know you, right? You got to do it, because this is not only for you, but your children or your child, right? So that's my second point again. Example to that is I keep reiterating this because many people that I know personally made this mistake. And that is, they kept arguing, going back and forth with the narcissist. So they were playing right into the narcissist's hands, right? So instead of being cool, calm, and collected, see, the narcissist has nothing to work with. It's tough, but it's very effective. And if you slip up a couple of times, no worries, get back on track. Okay, you don't want to have too many times where you slip up. You don't want to have too many times that the narcissist could look on the list or go to the record and say, wait a minute, yeah, you were getting in a fight with me. And they're going to have lawyers or whatever they're going to have. The narcissist is going to have an airtight case. Trust and believe. Moral side, you go to people you want to confide in, and I hate to say this, but even your family right now, you may not be able to confide in them, because the narcissist is also connected to family. You may not want to confide in them about what's going on, about your co-parenting, what you're concerned about, what you plan on doing. Don't do it. don't do that. You have to go outside the box. You have to think outside the box now. Go outside the box and think outside the box, but appear like you're the same person that the narcissist can beat up on. That's what you want to do. You want to appear like you're the same person that they can get supply from. You have to become a very good actress, and you have to become your own excellent shark-like attorney. Yes, you have to. I'm not an attorney, right? I'm just sharing with you some of the things that I have heard, the testimonies from people I've interacted with, some people I know for a fact. And in other words, every day I know them and they have children with a narcissist. So I'm sharing here. And I'm going to get to what I know about this personally. But first, I want to get to the points. So point number 2 again, right? On the moral side, be subtle and pretty predictable. On the legal side, be cutthroat and not as predictable. But do not react. Don't become emotional about this. Right? Easier said than done, but very effective. So shift gears a little bit on the moral side. And I keep saying the moral side because this is what I'm talking about. Clergymen, family members that you may want to confide in about your concerns here. You know, that's the moral side, right? You want to be, yeah, you want to shift the gears a little bit, but it be subtle. So the narcissist is not easily going to detect that you are strategizing and you're planning and you're about to execute. You're about to move forward with that strategy or those strategies and plans. You want to catch the narcissist off guard. Very slippery, very tricky to do, but this is what you want to do for your children. So that way they cannot use a lot of stuff against you, because they will. The narcissist will try. The legal side, you want to get, and this is going to go right into my 3rd point. You want to have an airtight case against the narcissist. Do what you need to do legally to do that. Okay? Don't let your emotions and feelings get into it. And trust your instincts. Please trust your instincts. Meaning, if something is, if you're inside, you know, saying, well, you know what? The narcissist wants us to go out to dinner. All of a sudden, the narcissist wants to act all chummy and lovey-dovey and want us to go out to dinner. If your inside say, don't go for that trap, then don't go for that trap. Okay? Because again, the narcissist stops at nothing to get what he or she wants. Okay? So, and it's all about supplies. Point number 3. Point number 3 is get all the resources you can. All the resources. Go to legal libraries. Go to legal aid online. Go online. Study, research, do what you have to do to get all the resources to give you an airtight case. So while you're co-parenting with the narcissist, you are always, yes, prepared. That's the key word. You're prepared for something to happen. Should the narcissist get ridiculous and want to try to take the children, you are prepared, because that's where your legal side come in. You want to be ready, lock, stock, booted up, yes, and ready for battle, because the narcissist is ready for battle at all times. Okay, you might want to do that. Yes, and this is not to discourage anyone. This is to really give you a picture of how serious co-parenting with a narcissist can be. How serious it can be. Because a narcissist, again, by nature is a predator. They always seek for supply, and they don't stop short of the children nor the person that they have children with. Right? So again, 3rd point, get all the resources you can. Do your research. Inquire, meaning ask questions. Find out if you can get counsel. You know, get a lawyer, get an attorney. Find out what the laws are in your county and state concerning co-parenting. Yes, or parenting. You know, well, you get what I'm saying. All the legality part of it. You want to have your ducks lined in a row. So 3rd point is get the resources to help you have an airtight case, just in case you need it. Right now, things might be quiet, but with a narcissist, you never know. Things can switch up real quick or very quickly. So you want to get all your resources, okay? So do what you need to do, legally, of course, and constructively, of course, because anything you do, see, now the narcissist is really watching you like never before. So you want to study, you want to learn, you want to become more knowledgeable about the legality or the legal part of this, right? Learn the laws of your state. Learn the laws of your county. Now, speaking of county and state, you may need to, again, when I said think outside the box and go outside the box, you may need to do that in order to, I'm not saying pack up and move. I'm not saying that. Now, I don't know I'm not telling you exactly what to do as far as that goes, but I will tell you this. To strategize and to plan the planning and strategize the strategy is very important. You have to plan carefully because the narcissist is really watching you now, like never before. Like never before. They're looking for any signs of a shift or difference because they're going to note that. They're going to note it mentally, and they have their ducks lined up in a row legally. Trust me on that. You don't have to trust me. I think your instincts are telling you. The narcissist is going to have their ducks lined up in a row. They're going to be ready to go to court with you if they have to. They're going to be ready to go all the way if they have to in order to get that supply. Meaning, if part of their supply is to take the children and have custody of them or even partial custody. Because see, the bottom line is this. The narcissist becomes very more monster-like if they're in a corner, right? If they feel threatened. And that if you take if you're taking more of the children's time away or taking the children away altogether, the narcissist sees that as a threat of them not getting supplies. That's what I really want to drive home. Anything that will cause the narcissist or threaten to cause that narcissist to lose supply, they will get cutthroat quickly. So you have to be ready. If you're co-parenting with a narcissist, yes, they're going to turn up the drama, manipulations, triangulation, flying monkeys. All these things are going to be something that the narcissist is going to exercise. So those are my 3 points. Those are my 3 examples. And I will finish with this. My personal experience with this is I remember when my mother, I was a child, right? And my mother and her husband, they actually got into it got violent physically, right? And I remember this just like yesterday. We ran out of the house. We ran to a neighbor's house, right? The police was called, right? We're at a neighbor's. We're waiting for the police to come. Okay. And again, I was a little child. I think I was like 7 years old. But I remember this like yesterday. We ended up going to a relative's house after that happened. And I remember my mother's husband coming to practically beg my mama to go back. And I was praying that she wouldn't do it. I was praying that she wouldn't take him back. And I was 7 years old. I was 7. So I'm just telling you this. The children feel the tension. The children know something ain't quite right. Excuse my French or language, but yes, they know that something's not quite. Yeah, they feel the tension. And I know you know, those of you listening, if you have children with a narcissist, I know you care for them, you love them, and you're doing your best by them. And I commend you for that. But when I was a child, I remember my mom being, assaulted physically, battered. Yes. And it was more than one time. And when I was a child, I was hoping and praying to God that she would leave him. But she ended up going back. The violence didn't stop. The tension in the air did not ease. So that's my part I want to share. How I have experience with this, the co-parenting part. When I was a child, I begged, pleaded with God, please let mommy leave. Mommy went back. I suffered more narcissistic injury. My siblings did too. So I just want to throw that in there because some children, they end up paying the heaviest price when we, are dealing with a narcissist. When there's 2 people, raising children and one of them is a narcissist. It's tough. The children suffer, in my opinion, the children suffer the most. So I hope I answered your question. And again, in healing, thank you so much for the question. Very relevant. A lot of people are going through this. So again, thank you so much for the question, and my best to you. And for everyone who's visiting and watching this today, if this is your situation, again, my best to you. And yes, please, please, please plan and strategize carefully, and please keep safety in mind. Safety above all else. Safety. Okay? All right, guys, until next time, stay tuned for more videos. Mwah.